Okay, everybody, how has it been going with your baseline of yourself? Do you understand how it is that you move through the world and what your habits are? This may seem like, why are we doing this? Well, the reason that we're doing this is because you can go a long way in improving your communication by understanding how it is that you communicate and what your body language tells the world. This is what I do with my clients all the time, is we do complete body language assessments of them. How do they move through space? What is it that they do? How are they perceived? How do they improve that perception to improve their communication? And step number one is to take the things off of that baseline that you don't necessarily like. Hopefully, whoever you talk to were pretty brutally honest, and if there were some things that you do that they think are getting in the way of your communication, that they're telling you. For instance, one of the things that I do, if you want me to be completely honest and transparent, sometimes I have a difficult time keeping really great eye contact because in the middle of a conversation, one of the things that happens to me is I can tend to get overloaded with information. My eyes are taking in so much all the time that then I actually kind of check out and look above people's heads a little bit, and kind of really, it's kind of leaving the conversation. Not that you have to stare into somebody's eyes the entire time, but there are moments that I know that I kind of check out and then I come back. But the other person doesn't realize that that I do this and that it's natural for me, or they don't understand why it's happening when it's happening. And so it's something that I have to own and be aware of. And if I notice myself doing it, I need to come back to them and say, oh, I noticed I was just looking away for a second. One of my coping mechanisms with taking in so much nonverbal behavior is that my eyeballs have to check out every now and then. And usually that opens up an, oh, wow, that's really interesting kind of conversation because I have that awareness of myself. What your awareness needs to be, we don't know. It's on your piece of paper. But if there's something on there that you don't like and you're unaware of when it happens, because there are some times that I don't realize until after the fact, or I'm in the middle of something and I'm like, oh, I bet I just did it again because of their reaction. The more you can be aware of when it's happening, the better. So those same people that you asked to give you that feedback, go back to them today and say, every time I look away, every time I roll my eyes, every time I blank, whatever it is for you, the habit that you don't like about yourself, when they see it, ask them to signal you somehow. Whether that could just be after the meeting, that they wrote down kind of when it happens for you. It's really important to know when it happens. Like for me, in that example that I gave you, it's when I become overloaded with information. It could be for somebody that they become nervous in front of a certain coworker because they are higher on the food chain than they are. Or maybe it's a certain topic that they're not really comfortable with, and that's when these XYZ things that they don't like, because oftentimes they're probably nervous or coping mechanisms that we do that people don't think that they want to have in their nonverbal vocabulary. And the only way to lessen those times is to be aware of them. So you're asking this person, when does this happen, and to make you aware of it, either in the moment or after the fact, so that you can start to become aware of what your triggers are. Triggers for the nonverbal behavior that you don't like, because that is really what happens is you are triggered by something in your environment and it's causing these things to come out in you because they are coping mechanisms. Everything's connected to the brain, and the brain may be having a fight or flight moment. The brain may be having a moment where it's struggling to do what the brain likes to do, because we know that the brain likes patterns, and if you're creating new patterns in your brain, it's trying really hard to stick to the old ones, so something may come out in you that you don't like. Okay, I told you it was going to get a little bit harder. Now you're using those people around you as your support systems to pinpoint when some of that behavior happens, and then you will be able to either lessen it, alter it, those kinds of things. Have a great day. Have a great time exploring, and this is all for good. This is all to make you better. And once again, I want to know what discoveries you're making. So like, share, comment to me, email me, go to www.movingimageconsulting.com and send me messages. I would love to hear from you.